Hi and welcome back to Warframe. So today we're going to take a look at the Synoid Nah. Simulor, and this is the Syndicate primary weapon for Cephalon Suda. You need to be max rank, have 125,000 available rep, and be mastery rank 12 to buy this. And it is worth it because it will have a little Cephalon Suda logo on the bottom right. Once that goes off, it has Entropy on it, which is what makes Syndicate weapons really worthwhile. And obviously when that goes off, it'll do 1,000 magnetic damage within a certain area. It will then restore 25% of the base energy that your frame has that you have equipped, and it will also, again, this is really weird because it's with the parkour stuff, it's questionable as to what it will actually do, but the movement speed is increased by 25% for 30 seconds as well. So it looks like it's going to be a promising one. You can also get it through trading if you are obviously not with the Syndicate, which is what I've had to do here, which kinda sucks. Comparing the two here with the Simulor on the right, the Synoid Simulor on the right even, and the normal Simulors on the left. Got that one a bit backwards. The base damage is the same with 50 on both. The Synoid reloads quicker, has a higher magazine and a higher fire rate. It's the entropy part to this that actually comes in really handy, which is what will make it useful. And the per stack damage for this thing, it does look like it's lower, but it actually has a higher average damage than the normal one does because it varies on such a higher scale. With varying on a lower scale, it's obviously going to do more damage most of the time over the normal one. So this thing does look fairly promising, and I just equipped the wrong one. God damn it. That's better. And it comes with 3 polarities, a V, a dash, and a D. Wow. Okay, that's pretty weird. Unfortunately, this thing is very much like its counterpart, but as you can clearly see, its radius is just downright nuts. This is a huge improvement on what the Simulor should have been originally, and when it goes off like that, yeah, its detonation radius is also ridiculously huge. So it's a decent weapon a lot of the time, but the alt fire method for this thing is just nasty, because you don't actually have to hit them in the same place and they will all get sucked into the same thing. But of course you gotta remember you can then detonate it, which is pretty handy. Hitting them with it still doesn't do anything, but if you add split chamber you don't have to fire as many, because for some reason it seems to fire 2 at once, which means this thing is great for those who don't want to aim a weapon. And I mean, the blast radius for them actually detonating is huge compared to the normal one. That topped off with the actual Syndicate element for this, it is actually a pretty decent weapon. It's not the best of weapons, because the range is still just, there's no excuse for it. The range on this thing is just bad beyond bad. It's great for crowd control, taking on defense missions or mobile defense missions. You can put some near what you're aiming at, but a lot of the time this is literally a very short range weapon, and it actually goes further if you bounce the damn thing. How's that for completely weird? But the detonation is where it's supposed to be with this. And yeah, it's just not. I mean, come on, there you go. Doesn't really suck people in, and come on. The actual Syndicate effect to this is much better than the actual weapon itself. Go away! Oh, I died before it even got sucked in. It still sucks in dead bodies really nicely, but the way they changed the alt fire to work on the middle button on the mouse can make it really hard to actually detonate these things. But I do like the fact that you can actually aim in to fire these things. Not that it matters, because if you've got one active nearby, as you can see, they all get sucked into it. Haha, sucked you into that one. And I literally just got him to run into it. So it is a decent weapon. It is now what it should have always been. But it still suffers from the same problems of aiming it as a complete and utter pig. But the radius is great. If the Firestorm thing worked well for this thing would just be a downright beast. Because, and then the Syndicate thing goes off, takes them all out. The Gamma Core is still better than this though. Just hands down, way better, because you don't have the alternate fire effect that can be this thing's biggest downside. Because obviously, I still like the fact you can aim these things. I can't get past the fact the range on this is still ridiculously short. Oh. And it's every time I keep firing around, every time I try and detonate it, which can be a huge pain. But you don't have to aim this thing, and they'll find themselves always, which I still like about this. The vortex is really handy as well. It'll pull items a little bit closer to you, so you don't have to go hunting around for them. But yeah, this thing is not that good of a weapon. But you can see the effect there. The radius for this is much bigger, and when the blast goes off, yeah, not as big as you would expect. But the actual radius of the vacuum itself is huge. Nothing. No damage at all. Did that activate behind? Wow, that actually activated behind the person I was aiming it at, and the small one, it's still too small. So it is a pretty decent weapon, but it still suffers from the same problems as the original one. Oh god damn it, you actually got one in there. Right, we're not going to acknowledge the fact that Diamond actually finally managed to interrupt the one. He keeps sending us messages saying, now interrupting your video, but they're in caps, so he did it small, so we'll leave that one in. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.